Rose Day, but green fingers everywhere itching for a weekend in the garden. It looks like being pretty good as well, with the winds coming up from the south, although there will be some rain for western districts in particular as the weekend goes along. Certainly some high temperatures today. Bear in mind the average at this time of the year is about 8 to 10, and we've seen 16 degrees at Norwich and at London, many places 13 to 15. Only along the south coast with winds onshore was it that little bit cooler. Well, we've got some rain as well. We've seen some showers moving east across the country. Some fairly extensive rain at the moment through Ireland into the Irish Sea, into northwest England and southwestern parts of Scotland. That's going to continue moving away northeastwards during the course of this evening and tonight. Some fairly heavy bursts of rain up on the hills, but then it'll become drier later on. Although around western coast it may well stay pretty gloomy, misty on the hills with the odd patch of drizzle never ruled out. Further east though, clearer skies, and there it'll be that bit cooler. But the winds are always going to be in the south tonight, so it's going to be a milder night than it was last night. It did get down low enough for a ground frost, incidentally, in many eastern parts of Britain last night, but no such problems really tonight. The wind's quite strong in the west, so their temperatures staying around 7 or 8, whereas on the eastern side of the country, near to 5, 6 or 7 once again. Well, the winds tomorrow look very much the same. In fact, the chart looks very much the same, with this system just wriggling its way up the western side of Ireland, but eventually it will make inroads tomorrow night. To start the day, though, in many western parts it'll be rather grey, rather overcast, rather misty on coasts and hills. Some brightness on the eastern side, particularly in northeast Scotland and down through eastern counties of England too. Some sunshine right from the word go. Even in the west it'll brighten up for a time, before eventually you will find the clouds thickening later in the afternoon or early evening, with some rain coming back across Ireland into parts of western Scotland and these western fringes of Wales and the far southwest of England. But most of that rain certainly initially very light indeed, but the wind's certainly stronger out in the west. The winds on the eastern side again no more than a balmy breeze, and that sunshine keeping going all day long. So with the sunshine and with the winds not too strong, it looks like we're going to see temperatures every bit as high as they were today. Probably 15 again up in the Moray Firth, 15 or 16 degrees down through eastern parts of England, but again around these windward coasts that little bit lower, 11, 12, 13 degrees, something of that order. Well, on Sunday very little changing. In actual fact, this very weak system bringing a band of cloud and a little rain eastwards, but more rain out there in the west. And that's it from me for now. Next week, but there will be some rain to watch out for, mainly in the west. That'll help the weeds grow. Now, some pretty high temperatures today, up to 17 degrees at Cromer in Norfolk. Many places between 13 and 15. Just along southern coast with onshore breezes, was it that little bit cooler, but even so up to 11 or 12 degrees. We've had some rain, and that's been developing during the course of this evening through the Irish Sea and moving eastwards into southern Scotland through northern parts of England too. Some of that rain quite heavy up on the hills. It'll continue making progress, steady progress eastwards into the North Sea as the night goes along. Elsewhere, a mainly dry picture, fairly clear. In fact, for southern and eastern parts, also up in northeast Scotland, where the rain won't arrive in actual fact. But there will be more rain pushing northwards up into Northern Ireland as the night goes along. Now, out in the west it'll be quite windy. It'll certainly be very mild, about 7 or 8 degrees, quite muggy really. Whereas on the eastern side, though it will be milder than last night, temperatures will dip a little bit lower, perhaps down to 4 degrees up in northeastern parts of Scotland. Well, tomorrow's chart shows these mild winds coming all the way from North Africa, all the way up across the country, but this system here always trying to make inroads into the far western part of Britain. Rather grey start in many places, but there will be some sunshine over northeast Scotland and down through eastern counties of England. Skies brightening in many other western parts as well, but the best of the sunshine always likely to be on the eastern side of the country. And during the afternoon, outbreaks of rain turning up there in Northern Ireland, and probably after dark, some outbreaks of rain into the Western Isles of Scotland, fringing West Wales, and also the far southwest of England. And some pretty respectable temperatures tomorrow. Watch out for that breeze in the west, quite strong at times. But on the eastern side of the country, 13, maybe up to 16 degrees through Lincolnshire. A very weak affair coming across eastern parts during Sunday, but some brightness to begin with in the southeast. Skies brightening for a while, then more rain turning up in the west later in the day. Across in the continent, a good deal of sunshine to come. Pretty high temperatures too, up to 15 to 18 degrees, maybe 20 degrees down there in northwest Africa. If you're going away, or if you're staying here with these high temperatures, watch out.